Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Let's talk about the latest on Saka and when he's going to be available to play for us again. The latest on Gabriel's new contract offer and also Partey and Zubimendi. Let's cover all that and without wasting time at all, let's get straight into it and let's start with Bukayo Saka. So what's the latest on him? According to Charles Watts, Bukayo Saka could be back earlier than expected. And in the article, it goes on to say that he should be back for the Fulham game, which would be absolutely incredible if he's back for the, as we said, yeah, Arsenal hopeful of having Bukayo Saka back against Fulham next Tuesday. That would be absolutely crazy. I was thinking maybe the earliest we would get him is second leg against Real Madrid, and that is still like 2-3 weeks to go. But to be on the bench for the Fulham game, that would be a huge bonus. Now, as I'd said already a month ago, depending on how the Champions League was going to go against PSV, I was happy to know it not even play Saka at all this season, maybe play him in the last two games in the league and then just for a bit of fitness and then have him have a full preseason and then come back next season stronger when, we have to win the title next season. So that is what I was thinking. But we've gotten past PSV, and we're 12 points behind Liverpool in the league, and I think we've already secured that we're not going to drop anywhere further. People are a bit worried about us finishing fourth and fifth. I don't think that is going to happen. I still think you're going to win games, and we're still comfortably going to be in second. So it's great to have him back. First of all, so happy to have Saka back. I absolutely missed him, and I know most of you missed Saka as well. If not everyone probably missed Saka. Like not only just in terms of the impact on the pitch, you can tell when Saka is not there. He's literally one of the few players that we have that can take on players. He had 10 assists already by the time he got injured. Like he was approaching breaking the record. Like the way Salah is only 3 assists away from equaling Henry and De Bruyne. Saka was heading to that level as well. Like he was having an incredible season in terms of goals and assists, and we suffer in terms of penalties. Like against Man United, we suffer in terms of corner kicks. Like we've gone a long time without scoring a corner before. Recently, when we scored against the international break just makes you even forget the last game that you played against Chelsea when Merino scored the corner. We had not scored a corner since December. Such small things for us, it's big things. Saka contributes a lot to that, and having him getting injured in December. Actually, there's some people who say that's when our title race ended, when Saka got injured in December. So it was unfortunate to lose our best player like that, and considering he had been so consistent for the last 5 years, or you were always used to having Saka in the team, it was a mess not having him for that crucial part, that January period when he had a lot of fixtures, different competitions. You really needed him in that in those games. Like for example, against Man United in the FA Cup, we probably go through in that game if Saka is there. So we've really missed him, but he will be back for the Fulham game. On the bench, should I really use him? Maybe not. After that, we have Everton away. That's another game you really don't want to have Saka. But if he's going to play against Real Madrid at home, then he has to get some minutes in those games. So what I would do, maybe if he has to get some minutes and some fitness, maybe playing for 15 minutes. In both games, maybe 20 minutes, or maybe 15 against Fulham and then maybe 20 against Everton. And hopefully we are not having to turn to the bench to bring in Saka to help us win the game. That is not what I want. I want the game to already have been won, like for example against Fulham at home, 2-0 up or something, and then you bring Saka, or not 1-1, then you're turning back to Saka already, like, okay, come and help us win the game. Nah, we don't really want that. So for me, I want Saka fit for the Real Madrid games. That is the two games that I really want him fit in, not even really the Fulham or Everton games. I would imagine we are able to beat, although Fulham and Everton, we've struggled against them the last 2 seasons. I'd imagine we should be able to beat them even without Saka. But hey, we probably have a better chance with Saka there. Another thing that is going to be very interesting to see is how Saka comes back from the injury. Like you see, for example, the way Timber's come back from an ACL injury, and he's been absolutely incredible this season. Not every player is like that. Some players come back and they take time to, come back to top form and full throttle and all that. sometimes it takes time. Maybe you're not going to see the best of Saka until next season, but maybe Saka is different. Maybe Saka continues his, incredible consistency, and he just comes back and within the next 5 games, he's already scored twice and had 3 assists already. He could be like that, so you never know. It's going to be very interesting to see how he recovers from that, because this is the first time Saka's had an injury that long. He's missed more than 3 months, and by the time the Fulham game comes, it's going to be almost 4 months. So let's see how that one goes. But Bukayo Saka, Charles Watt says that Bukayo Saka will be could be on the bench for the Fulham game. Next up, let's go to some contract news, and that is on Gabriel. Arsenal are planning to offer Gabriel Magalhaes a new contract to deter interest from Saudi Pro League sides, sources have told Football Insider, with talks of a new deal being lined up ahead of the summer transfer window. If you're to ask me right now, the 3 players that cannot be sold by Arsenal, Gabriel would definitely be on that list. You cannot get centre backs like that. All the time I've been watching Arsenal since 2004, I never got to watch, Tony Adams and Martin Keown and Steve Ball. Those were greats. Gallas and Toure. Gallas, oh my goodness, Gallas, not Gallas. I watched Gallas, and he was great for like a season. He used to score some goals, but most of the time he was, not the greatest of captains. But before that, Campbell and Toure, watched them for maybe a season. But after that, we never really had good centre-backs. I don't think you'd ever hear... Koscielny was good for some part. Vermaelen was good for some part. Even Mertesacker had a good season. Even Rob Holding had a good season. But, you never have had conversations of, oh my goodness, who is better centre-back partnership? Is it Cavalli and Terry, or is it Gallas and Toure? We were never in those conversations. Never at all. Right now, to hear people saying that Arsenal has the best centre-back partnership in the world, that is crazy to us, because we've never had like this good of centre-backs like for the last 20 years. This is absolutely stunning. And not only that, Gabriel is a leader in this team. 100%. Now he knows English and all that. He's become such an asset in this team, and we don't even have to mention how many times he contributes for us in terms of attacking areas. Against Man City away, he scores. Against Tottenham away, he scores the winning goal. He scores big goals. Against Chelsea last season away, he scores the winning goal. Like, how many times has he done it? So many times that he comes up with big goals for us. And you could tell that he really loves defending. He makes a tackle, he celebrates it, he loves it. He didn't play for Brazil yesterday. They lose 4-1 to Argentina. If he's there, maybe they don't concede 4 goals. He's a very important player. Like 2 years ago, Brazil was saying, nah, Gabriel is not a starter for this team. And now I saw their fans saying, no, we really miss Gabriel. He needs to be in this team. That's how important Gabriel is. And for us as well, that's how important he is, If you don't have Gabriel in a season like this, we probably aren't even 12 points behind. We're maybe 18 points behind without Gabriel. So he's very, very important, and you cannot sell him. We want a striker this summer transfer window. We want a winger. Some people want an attacking midfielder. Some people want Garcia, the goalkeeper. Some people want another number 10. Some people want a defensive midfielder. Whatever you want, whoever we get, you still have to keep your best players for sure. And Gabriel, it wouldn't make sense, for example, if we got Hijack today and then Gabriel and Saliba left. It wouldn't make sense. For us to win a title and to win big trophies in the next season, Gabriel has to be there. He has to be there. And he's one player that I do not entertain selling him at all. At all. You'd have to give me like 200 million for me to even consider selling Gabriel. For me, it's not a sellable asset at all. He's a player that even if you even consider it, you would say no. And I don't think you'd want to leave anyway. I think you'd want to win a trophy or 2 before leaving. And I think he really has an understanding with Saliba, and he knows it's very hard to be in a team and you just know you're definitely going to start every single day. He knows if his feet is going to start, is that good, and no one else is going to be, coming to the team ahead of him. That's why players like Aiden haven't left, because he knows he's not going to, come into the team ahead of Gabriel. That is probably why Kivia will leave, because he knows he's not going to play ahead of Gabriel. That is probably why Calafé is having to play left back, because you can't take out Gabriel from this team. So this is an asset that we shouldn't even consider selling at all. So hopefully he does get the contract that he deserves. And again, we talked about him last week, and we say that he's like the 17th in terms of highest paid players at Arsenal, which is criminal, because he's one of our most important players. He's literally below even players like Sterling, I think, in terms of how much they get paid. I know you're not the ones who are paying Sterling all the money, but on that list, I think he's below Zinchenko, he's below Jorginho, and he's below another 14 players. So cannot be right. He deserves a new contract, and he needs to be at least in our top 6, 7 highest paid players in this team. Some can even argue in our top 3 players because he's that important. So Gabriel hopefully does get what he deserves. Next up, let's go to the latest on this. So Zubimendi. So we were told a couple of months ago, was it Sami Mokbel? Well, Sami Mokbel, I think, said Arsenal and Zubimendi is already a done deal. Now we are hearing that Real Madrid are now moving seriously for Arsenal target Martin Zubimendi. It is now up to the player who is increasingly closer to the Spanish club. So Real Madrid are trying to hijack it. Now, the thing with Zubimendi, I think fans have split almost 30%. Now, there's like 3 groups. The first group are like, yeah, Zubimendi will definitely improve our team. Let's bring him to the side. I love the way he plays for Spain, love the way he plays for Sociedad. He's going to bring some control in our midfield. Let's have him there. That is the 30% that want him, wants Zubimendi deal to be done. And then the 30% that are like, no, I want to keep Thomas Partey. I'm even happy to keep Jorginho. Let's focus on the forward positions. We don't really need to spend 50, 60 million on Zubimendi. Let's keep the midfield that we have. Partey is great. Jorginho is great. Let's keep the ones we have. Forget about Zubimendi. That is the other 30%. And then there's the other 30% that are like, nah, Jorginho can leave. Partey can leave. But I don't want Zubimendi. I want a Bruno Guimaraes instead. I want this one. I want that one. So there's 3 different groups when it comes to Zubimendi. Which one am I in? I'm somewhere split in the middle. I'd probably keep Partey for 1 more season. And then I'm kind of 50-50 on Zubimendi as well. It depends on who else you're trying to offer me. Bruno Guimaraes, Zubimendi, I'd probably choose the one who's Premier League experienced in Bruno Guimaraes, but I don't mind if we sign Zubimendi in that midfield. I think it's still a very good control of the ball and everything. Ignore the games that he played against Man United because people are like, did you watch him against Man United? Let's watch him the whole season and see how he does. Let's go back and watch all the games for Sociedad. So I'm split in the middle. That's not the first position I'd be trying to sort out. I would be going fast for a striker and a winger, and then midfield, even July, no problem. Let's try and sort out the forward positions fast. I still think we have one of the best midfields in the league, but definitely need some improvements because Jorginho's age and Partey's age are not going to be here forever. So we have to start getting young players very soon because those players are not going to be here until they're 40 years of age. So, and I think there's a chance Partey could be a starter next season, but even if he stays, the chance he might not be a regular starter next season. But he's had a very consistent season. That's good, and he scored 2 goals for Ghana the other day as well. That was great for him as well. So Zubimendi, let me know what you guys would make of this. I mean, if you're Zubimendi has always said that he wants to stay in Spain. That's for the first reason why he didn't even join Liverpool. And the previous time when you wanted him, he didn't want to come to the Premier League. That is because he wanted to stay in La Liga. And when a team like Real Madrid wants, as you've seen with Trent, many people decide to go. Because if you tell him, listen, we already have Mbappe, we already have Vinicius, we already have Rodrigo, we have Bellingham, we have Valverde, but, Kroos left last season, Modric is about to leave, that is your position. You're going to be the one to play in that position every single day. I think he'd probably say, yeah, I want to go to Real Madrid. I wouldn't be surprised. And he stays in his national country as well. So why not? So this one is going to be an interesting one. I wouldn't be too oh my goodness, we've lost Zubimendi. I wouldn't. Because there's other midfielders. But let's see how that one goes. Let me know how you guys would feel about that one. Would you be very, very bothered if Zubimendi didn't join us? Or how is it? Because Sami Mokbel already said that you're basically 95% done with this deal. So it's going to be interesting to see. Because with the Rice one, I think one still wanted him last minute, but you'd already done all the job. So could it be the same with Zubimendi? Have we already done all the job that is needed to be done? Let's wait and see. Speaking of Thomas Partey, let's talk about him last on this last but not least, let's say that first. Thomas Partey's agent has been busy fielding offers from clubs in England and abroad, with the decision on the player's future still undecided. So that's another interesting one. So I think it depends on this one as well. Is Partey going to stay? Now the thing with Partey is, as you said, age and also the money that he gets paid. So if you're going to improve the contracts of Gabriel and Saliba and Saka, you have to compromise. You probably have to go, let Zinchenko go. Who else is on a lot of money? Partey. Who else? I mean, Havertz is not going to go. He's injured anyway, and he's been here for like less than 2 years. He's not going to go right now. The earliest Havertz could leave Arsenal is maybe next year. I don't think he's going to leave anyway. So the ones who've been here for a long time and are past 30 years of age, the likes of Trossard, those are the only ones who can really leave. And then it also depends, does Partey want to stay? That's another thing that we don't know about, because if he's getting offered a lot of money from Saudi Arabia, we're not going to be able to match that. So could he be wanting to go there instead? Who knows? So I think this one is going to push all the way to May. For me, I'd probably give him a 1-year contract for one more season, but it depends. Does he want to stay? Do we want to replace him this transfer window? We have to wait and see. If the performances are still there, and the only thing I don't like about Partey is he's a bit slow in terms of covering transitions. So when you're up against like an Aston Villa and Rodgers picks up the ball and starts running, Partey's not going to catch up. But I think he doesn't get himself into those positions that much because he knows how to position himself and all that. And yeah, I think he's had a very good season. Even the games where we played poorly back in November, December, when we were losing to Inter Milan, to Newcastle, to Bournemouth, Partey was the only one who was really playing well during that period as well. So he's had a very consistent season, no injuries. So far, touch wood, we need him for the Real Madrid game. So I think this one is going to push all the way to April, May. That's when you're going to hear any news on him. But yeah, there's a lot of contract situations to sort. Not as many as other teams, but we do have some important ones to sort out. Gabriel, Partey, and luckily we don't have too many that are about to end. So it's only him and Jorginho, really, that contracts are expiring. The others have like 1-2 years to go. So that's good. But let's see what happens with Partey. Let me know. All we've discussed today, what you do. Are you happy to let Zubimendi go to Real Madrid and get someone else instead? Partey, would you give him a contract? Would you let him go? All that, let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.